Namaskar, good morning. Welcome to today's panel discussion on local expertise, global vision. Generally, travel agents have got a lot of expectations from DMCs. But today, we would like to ask our eminent panelist what DMCs expects from travel agents. Each of you represents very different markets. Kazakh and CIS, Australia and New Zealand, Vietnam. So let's start with a brief introduction, one-liner. What's trending in your market? Rohit.
There are CIS is the new kid on the block. Uh, Relatively fresh product in the market. So pretty much everything is trending in our destination, whether it be ski, holidays, family vacations. But the one thing which is really standing out is milestone celebration. We have seen a huge jump in numbers of people who want to celebrate their anniversaries, their milestone birthdays, and that is something which has become very big in our destinations.
Great.
As far as Australia and New Zealand is concerned, since it being a long haul destination, as of now, mostly honeymooners and leisure travelers are traveling to Australia with the familiarity of Australia coming into the Indian market and New Zealand being the neighboring country of Australia. New Zealand is also catching up with it, and honeymooners and leisure travelers are mainly traveling to Australia. Group travel is also catching up slowly and steadily.
Great. Vikalp.
So for Vietnam, a lot of honeymooners we see are traveling to Vietnam. But Vietnam has a lot more than just for honeymoons to offer. We have hill station, which very few people know about, is Sapa. And Vietnam is a really good destination if we talk about destination weddings. So I think more knowledge or more knowledge sessions to be done with the travel agents. So they should know that Vietnam has a lot more than to offer just for honeymoons.
Because I just wanted to ask you what's trending today, the kind of people going. So they are going, budget travelers are going, or honeymooners. What's
Mostly we find budget travelers and honeymooners who are traveling to Vietnam.
as of now? Great. Rohit, you know, what kind of Indian travelers now are going mostly when you are attending to, and why they are choosing Central Asia?
See, the profile of Indian travelers towards our destinations has evolved a lot over the years. A few years ago, you would only see men's group going there because the destinations, unfortunately, our destination were perceived as nightlife destinations, and they did not attract what they're attracting today. So right today, we are getting anybody who would choose to go to Australia is a potential customer for us. So we got families, we got honeymooners, we got niche mice, and like I said in my earlier question you asked me, milestone celebration is really the new thing that's happening. So because of the proximity of our destinations to India, it is becoming a amazing short haul destination and a weekend getaway, and they're offering everything that is possible under the sky. So whether you want to have the feel of Europe, you're getting it. You want to enjoy a great nightlife, you will get it. You want to do some great shopping, soft adventure activities, everything. So really there is, our destinations are fitting pretty much every niche that is there existing in the Indian market.
Wow. See, as you said, Utpal, Australia and New Zealand is opening up for Indians. Right? It's just a growing market. But how familiar Indian agents are with Australian itineraries?
As I said in my initial talk, that familiarity is not so much with the Indian travel agent, because for Indian travel agent, Australia and New Zealand are in a way a new destination, and it's a very technical destination to be curated and to be given the experience. So since we are dealing completely in B2B, so on a daily basis we encounter these sort of issues, and we provide them the resolution by giving them the proper training and briefing about the itineraries and the experience that they can offer in turn to their customers. So training and knowledge about the destination is vastly required by travel agent pan India basis. And that is what we are doing on a daily basis. As and when we are receiving inquiries, guiding them, as to what is the best within their budget of their customers and what they can offer to the customers. Training is very much required.
Can you tell, for the benefit of our viewers, uh, what's better, Sydney and Melbourne?
Both of them
The
offer
itinerary.
good. Sydney and Melbourne both are good destinations. They offer a lot of good things to offer, and people in our initial stages, what we saw, in case a customer has to travel to Australia, and since it being a long haul destination, so usually 9 nights, 3 nights Sydney, 3 night Melbourne, and 3 night Gold Coast. That is the famous itineraries and the package that a customer takes.
Vikalp, how would you describe your destination's current position in Indian market in terms of mice?
In terms of mice are still traveling to Thailand more than Vietnam. We are growing, but we don't have that kind of demand, which is, yes, it is increasing, but we expect more from Indian mice to be coming to Vietnam, as Vietnam has some really good properties which are developed for mice travelers, for mice companies, and I believe, yes, the demand is less as if we compare it to our neighboring uh, countries, Thailand. But yes, we believe that more travelers, more mice should be coming to Vietnam.
Can you tell us more little about itineraries in Vietnam?
Yes, what I say is the basic itinerary which is being sold in Indian market is for 4 night 5 days, which is not enough to cover Vietnam. At least a person should have 7 days, 6 nights, 7 days. The oldest city of Vietnam is Hanoi, which where you can see the old Vietnamese structure. Now, 2 night is what it's at least needed to cover Vietnam, Hanoi, 1 day Hanoi sightseeing, and then there is this Ha Long Bay, which is very beautiful island, small island you'll see, which is almost a 4 hour from cruise. So a person can do a day cruise to Ha Long Bay, but if you can go for a 1 night and 2 day this Ha Long Bay, then you can actually have this experience of staying in a cruise and seeing the beautiful Ha Long Bay and the Cat Ba Beach. Now, 2 night Hanoi, 2 night Da Nang, and 2 night Ho Chi Minh City is the standard itinerary which most of the agents are selling. But if you can take up to 8 night and 9 days, sorry if I'm taking that long, then you can cover one of this beautiful island known as Papa, which very few people are aware of. Is uh, yes, we are seeing a good family vacations too. So for kids, people think they are traveling to Hong Kong just for Disneyland. Now the Vietnam government has built this Wind Wonder, which is built on 24 acres, far better than this Disneyland. But all they do not have as compared to Disneyland is just the Disney and the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all, because they got repeated. So people are not aware that Vietnam has a lot to offer for kids as well. So yes, the basic itinerary 6 nights, 7 days, 7 9 days. Yes, you can cover most of the way.
Great. Uh, Rohit, India is a price sensitive market, but sometimes the race to the bottom leads agents to undercutting. What's your take on that?
See, agents, we are a pure B2B company. Agents need to start seeing a DMC not as a vendor, but rather as a extension of their own self, because we are the guardians and protectors of their brand, their clients. So that needs to be taken into account, which most a lot of agents don't do that. So while price does is important, but so is quality, and most importantly, quality, reliability, professionalism, right, and most importantly, accountability.
True.
These things in the long run do matter.
See, because your region is mostly sold on price, do you think agents compromise service by choosing lowest price?
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely, and unfortunately, they do that. Uh, Primarily with the fear that they're going to lose their customers, obviously going to be getting prices from other DMCs. So there is a war, and there is a race to get the best price, and unfortunately during this race of getting the best price, service is often the first casualty.
True. As we were talking about India as a price sensitive market, Australia is a premium,
Australia is
a premium
premium
and
segment.
experience rich market.
Absolutely.
So how do you convince Indian agents that it's not just about price, it's about all about experience and
It is
service?
all about an experience, as I would fully endorse with Rohit what he has said just now. Travel agent needs to understand when a travel agent is selling a particular destination. In case he is selling Vietnam, in case he is selling Dubai, that's completely a different destination. And in case he is selling a long haul destination like Australia, New Zealand, or Europe, then he needs to convince his customer that price undercutting a price would compromise the promise that we as a DMC are offering to the travel agent. It is all a promise we are offering. I'll quote you an example. Like these days, mobiles are very much trending. So, in case you're going to purchase a Samsung S24, you first read about it, read the reviews, and develop a promise about that. And once you go to a dealer, a Samsung shop, and that promise is not fulfilled, it kills that particular product.
True.
So the travel agent needs to understand that cutting down on the prices and not delivering the promise will spoil customer at the end of the day and would give a bad name to the destination management.
Very right. Vikalp, do you think the price war somewhere cuts that experience people are looking for?
Unfortunately, yes, and as Mr. Rohit said, there is this race among the travel agents to grasp the deal. And nowadays, customer is well educated. He goes to one and sees what the price is. And a customer who comes to an agent comes with 4 or 5 quotations that okay, I'm getting the price in 20,000 or 40,000, whatever it is. And other agent just to grasp the deal, they does a false commitment, which yes affect the experience of a customer. Now I'll share experience of a recent query which we got of a family of 8 people. Now the agent put it that like the breakfast was included in the package and the lunch and dinner was not. So the agent told the family, as they were short on budget, that you can have a whole family dinner with proper starters and main course and in very good Indian restaurant, because we have a lot of Indian restaurants in each and every city in Vietnam. So having a vegetarian food or Jan food is not a task in Vietnam anymore. So they were told within a budget of 2,500, you can 8 people can have dinner. So the customer carried a kind of fund where they can have dinner for 8 people. So they were short on budget and they were up to us, sir. We were told this, we were told this. So false commitment is there. They're not telling the right weather to travel, which is the right weather to travel to Vietnam. And just because of that, people are having a bad impression of the country, of the destination. And being a DMC, it's our duty to make sure that they are going back with the good memories. Then we work hard to take them to good restaurant, best restaurants. So I think in this race of selling the package, miscommitment or false commitment should not be there.
Rohit, how important is training or knowledge of the destination to the agent? And how do you do it?
Absolutely, I think knowledge leads to confidence to sell a destination. And amongst Australia, which has obviously been there for the last 15 years, is probably a destination which I feel most agents are very aware of and very confident in selling that product to the client. And if I would expect an agent to sell my product, or even Vietnam, which is also relatively new, they would be hesitant unless they knew about the product. So yes, our uh, uh, to instill that knowledge, to give that confidence, is ultimately going to be beneficial for us. And then as a company, as KAZIN DMC, we do fam trips every year. We do a lot of online forums. We have a community where we update our agents about the new products, which is quite welcoming. So yes, we do our best in whatever that's possible within the given means and the budget that we have to educate our agents.
Thank you, Rohit. So, Utpal, can a destination like Australia be sold without proper training?
Never. As I said initially, Australia and New Zealand both are very technical destinations. The things needs to be curated and experience needs to be given to the customer. Because for a very simple thing, if a customer is traveling only to Australia, for example, the airfare of Australia for a single person is not less than 70,000, 80,000. So, and visa charges are not less than 15,000 rupees per person. So, only the airfare and visa cost if it is touching 1 lakh. And in case a travel agent does not have a proper knowledge, how would he curate that promise and how would he curate that experience for his customer without a proper knowledge and without the proper guidance of the package to be delivered to the customer in the end? Customer is reaching a travel agent because he does not have a ways and means to go to Australia on his own. Online, he cannot arrange a holiday for Australia because there are a lot of technicalities involved. So, a proper knowledge, a proper briefing, and a proper understanding of the destination is very much required by all the travel agents who are selling Australia or any other long haul destinations.
Very true. Vikalp, how to set realistic expectations about a destination regarding price and inclusion?
Okay, let me give you an example from a guest point of view for this question. Let's say, being a guest or a client, I call a travel agent and I say I'm planning to travel to Vietnam for 4 night 5 days, and I'm one agent who says, okay, I'm sending you a quotation. It's a 4 night 5 day package. I take the itinerary from my this and I say, okay, there's 2 night Hanoi, 2 night Da Nang. There's the package is the call. Now the same travel agent gives a call to another agent who says, okay, sir, let me ask you, have you been to Vietnam before? Okay, in 2 days you'll be going to this Hanoi train station, you'll be going to this place, and then you'll be going to. So I'm explaining the destination in a way that the person knows the destination before going to the destination. You getting my point? So even if I'm higher on price, the customer might purchase from me because he sees that confidence. As Mr. Rohit said, knowledge leads to confidence, and yes, customer buys that confidence. Rather than if I'm selling 4 night 5 day package, or if I'm you're getting my point?
Makes sense.
So yes, knowledge is very important, and that's what leads to selling the package.
Rohit, what's your take on this? What he's saying?
No, it's absolutely right. I mean, I'm not going to say anything different, regardless of destinations are different. But the basic crux is that yes, knowledge is certainly the key. But again, customers' expectation. If we talk about that, as far as our destinations are concerned, which unfortunately are perceived as relatively cheaper destinations, which is really not the case anymore, is expectation versus price mismatch. They have huge expectations out of the destination, but they would expect when they see the price, they realize that this should have been much cheaper, but it may not be the case.
See, in India, people go take immediate actions, last minute bookings. So, is it satisfying or frustrating? Last minute bookings.
Last minute bookings. It has its own challenges. We have multiple. Well, we don't have too many destinations, but we have 4 destinations on our portfolio: Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Belarus. And we will be, of course, launching Uzbekistan shortly. Now, if it's a visa-free destination, sure, you can get up and go in the last minute. Our frustration would be to make timely arrangements, to make sure that we've gotten the quality guide. Because ultimately, if you're choosing something on the last minute, you're only going to get leftovers.
True.
Right? So, yes, that is an issue. But I don't, I've seen the trend has changed. There are really not too many last minute. I mean, the last minutes are backpackers. Huh? People who are genuinely traveling, they have booked a while back.
What is the biggest hurdle in servicing Indian clients?
Well, like I said, expectation versus price mismatch. Their expectation is we have to deliver their expectation in the price that they want, and that is the biggest hurdle. But in my destination, another hurdle is perception that our destination are not safe, which is absolutely untrue. Whether I talk about Almaty or Tbilisi or Baku or Minsk, they are some of one of the most safest cities that you could visit. Whether it is a solo traveler or a female traveler, safest. And I tell my female travelers who go there, listen, you want to go and walk at 2 in the morning, go right ahead. You can do that. But because of geographical location of our destination and the geopolitical situation, our destinations are always right in the eye of the storm.
True.
So whether it is India, Pakistan, the first thing that gets hit, and not just our destination, everything gets hit because the ripple effect is going to go to Vietnam as well. It's going to go to Australia as well. Even they have nothing to do with it, but people will get scared. So whether it is Pakistan, Kazakhstan is going to get hit, and we have in the last 3 months we have seen it ourselves. We have got cancellations up to millions and millions of dollars, and with Iran, Georgia, Baku, and Belarus hit. Russia, Ukraine, Belarus hit. So unfortunately for our destination, we are in that unfortunately in that geopolitical region, which affects us.
True.
But the ripple effect goes all over the world.
Absolutely.
Are long lead times and rigid planning for long haul destinations a challenge for Indian FITs?
In a way, yes, and in a way, no, because there are some of the Indian travelers are well educated, well understandable that they know that in case they are traveling to a long haul destination, they need to plan everything in advance and they need to understand the nitty gritties of that particular destinations. But yes, as Rohit also said, there are customers who are last minute travelers, say 15 days or 20 days. They even don't know what the visa process is, how much time the visa for holiday package. So that is where, as I said initially, that the training comes into the picture to a travel agent. It is the responsibility of the travel agent to brief them that in case they are traveling to long haul destinations, then they need to plan everything well in advance. So that is where it comes into the picture. So training, knowledge is equal to delivering of a promise.
Vikalp, whenever an agent is committing anything to client, finally DMC has to handle. So how you handle those miscommunication from the agent?
That's a very tough question because these kind of situations are always tough to handle. And yes, unfortunately, we face it a lot of time. But sometimes we cannot handle. We just have to say sorry. This was not included in the package. This cannot be done, which again leads to a bad experience, a bad customer. So yes, whatever we can include in the package, even if it has been miscommitted, we try our best to offer that. But sometimes the miscommitment or the false sales commitment is so beyond our reach that we cannot fix it. In that scenario, we are the bad face of the in front of the customer, which leaves a really bad impression. And this is so sad for us, and we decide not to deal with that agent anymore because it becomes a hassle, and we don't like being a DMC that a customer is going unsatisfied after paying the amount of what it is. So there's nothing that can fix that also.
I would like both of you to talk about this as well.
Well, I mean, uh, miscommunication, if the agent is making, we need to understand where the miscommunication coming from. Is it coming from the DMC? It could be both ways. Or has the agent overcommitted?
False committed, yes.
Overcommitted, maybe. I will not like to use the word false. Maybe overcommitted. And perhaps that overcommitment may come from lack of knowledge. So as far as the DMC is concerned, everything is, for us, everything is in written. What we are delivering is what we have committed already on an email. Everything else is all hearsay and, like I said, assumptions. So I don't know what overcommitment really means. I mean, I think it's mostly assumptions that my dinner, if I say, for example, I mean, I will just use that as an example, meals are included in your package. Right now, usually it's dinner and lunch is included in your package. Now, maybe the client will assume कि मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगी starters भी मिलेंगे.
True. So I'll tell you.
Assumption ही है ना वो तो.
Cab की बात करते car. So I'll get a luxury car. You get so, or you get a normal car. It's these kind of small issues mostly come because being a journalist, when we speak to a lot of people, these kind of things. What's your take on this?
Because what happens most of the time is, yes, what Rohit has said is right. I would like to add one more point. That travel agent, as the Indian market is these days, sometimes do overcommit to take over the business from his or her competitor.
True.
So, and at that point of time, he does not inform the concerned DMC that he has overcommitted. Once the business is finalized, that is it. Then he says that, say, like you very well pointed out about a cab. No, I have said the Mercedes cab has to be given for her. I will transfer it, patch it, transfer. Why are you giving her Toyota, for example? So that is where. But as Rohit very correctly pointed out, whatever has been sent in writing, whatever has been discussed, and that same thing has been committed in writing, That is what needs to be followed. Assumptions to take over the business, to cut the margins, to give rock bottom prices. Those things don't work.
I think this is a very elaborate topic of assumptions, because assumption can lead to anything.
Anything.
I want to add one more example, a very short example to what just recently happened in my office. Is there was a client who was going to Almaty, and they were staying obviously at the Ritz-Carlton in a very expensive room. And we obviously gave them the transportation cost, and they said, no, I want a particular vehicle, which is a Willfire. Now, Willfire in India is just been recently launched. They're all brand new models. The vehicle starts at 1.5 crores. But the Willfires that my team committed, the committee said, okay, we will give you a Toyota Willfire. There, the Willfires are 8 years old, 6 years old. The new ones are there, but they're really expensive. So we did send them a Willfire. But they were expecting, the client was expecting
one.
the one that he sees Ranbir Kaur or any of these guys moving. So nobody's wrong here.
That is all perception.
This is all perceptions. So I am right, he is right, the middleman is right, but unfortunately, but that's what it is.
Got it.
And there's only so much you can write in an email to clarify. I mean, there's so much, a lot of things.
That happens. Agree. Now, before we close, one myth about your destination.
Well, I think safety. This is actually a myth, and I really, Anil, like to use your platform to bust this myth. Is that our destinations are not safe. All our destinations are extremely safe, safer than certainly India, safer than some of the most famous European cities. So that is a myth. And another one is that another myth is that they're very cheap. They are not. If you are expecting to stay in a Four Seasons hotel, their Four Seasons hotel is not going to come for $150.
Sure.
It's still going to come for $600. And some of our destination luxury hotels are even more expensive than their counterpart in Maldives. So that myth and people, expectations are changing. Yeah.
What's over to?
It is as easy a destination as any other South Asian destination is, and to plan it, it might take less time. So that's the biggest myth which travel agent needs to remove from the customer's mind, because last 2-3 days we are getting inquiries for say 17th of July or 24th of July. We got 2 inquiries in 2 days. So people, the travel agent needs to train their customers and give a proper knowledge that Australia is not such a destination that it can be planned in 7 days, 10 days, 12 days. That's the biggest myth, that the customer thinks that, okay, I've got 15 days in hand, I can travel to Australia. That's the biggest myth.
I don't think you can train your customers anymore.
Yeah. Vikalp, what's your take?
So I think the biggest myth is that Vietnam has not much to offer, as we have covered in previous questions, and that we don't have good vegetarian food you can find in Vietnam. So vegetarians are out together. Will be getting meals. They are getting their MTR packets and everything from India that we will not get Indian food. It's a myth. So yes, we have a lot of, and still we are getting increase in number every year in terms of Indian restaurant. And Vietnam is just not beaches and all. Vietnam has a lot to offer. Go to Sapa is such a beautiful destination. You will find Nainital with some good, really good infrastructure and some drop down temperature. So the temperature is almost half from what we have in Hanoi at any point of time. And it's not only beaches. Vietnam is a lot more than that. And again, the same as like Mr. Rohit said, budget. This thing, Vietnam is really cheap. So yes, but the services come at a cost. It's not that cheap if you'll go to party, if you'll go to restaurants. And if you're staying in a good four-star, five-star property, yes, it comes at a really good cost. So it's not cheap. Yes, it's budgeted, but it depends. We have budgeted things, so Vietnam has budgeted things to offer, but it's not cheap.
Great. Now, last words from you. What you would like, the message you would like to give to the travel agents who are watching this for your destination?
Well, our destinations are open for you. We are here to take care of your clients. Trust us with your clients, because ultimately they are the ones who are going to stay with you at the end of the day. And give them like your own child. You would give them to somebody who's trustworthy. Choose your DMC who can trust your clients and love your clients and respect your clients just the way you do.
The message from my end to the travel agents would be to understand the destination first, to give a proper briefing about that particular destination to their customers, because at the end of the day, whether it's a DMC, through a DMC or themselves, they are selling a promise to a customer which they need to deliver at any cost, because at the end of the day, customer is spending his hard-earned money on a promise that we are giving. So travel agent needs to understand the destination and sell it accordingly.
Vikalp.
To all the travel agents who are watching this episode and are with us till the last of this question, I'd like to say, if you are planning to sell Vietnam to your guests and want them to be repetitive customers, yes, Chalenkya.com is the one for you. We are your extension, we are your first place. We'll make sure that the customer goes back happy. No one can beat our cost. Vietnam is cheap.
इधर marketing कर दी इन्होंने अपनी.
Yeah, that's,
हाँ?
see, I would like to tell you the ultimate thing which comes out of this discussion is quality comes at a cost. And if you want quality and service, then there's a cost to this. You can sell at a bit, you can do false commitment just once. If you want repeated customers, if you want to work long run, so there's no shortcut for success. So stick to your commitments, and you should, product knowledge is very, very important to any destination. Thank you very much to everyone for this.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure.
You are watching Travel World Online.